get settled, we will get settled as well. Happy Saturday.
Please let us know if you can hear us.
Yeah, that's always a good one.
Yes, please.
Are we on both?
I think we're on.
Hello
We're
over
on
there,
YouTube.
YouTube people.
Does it need to say enable manual mode in that lower left?
Yeah, because I'm looking actually for us here.
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks like we did
There you
not
go.
go live.
Okay. Oh,
Okay.
because it was going to automatically go live
Okay.
in 1 minute.
Oh,
But now we're manually starting it instead.
okay. Let's see.
Done.
Hello.
All right, let's start over.
Hey!
Hello.
We all fit. How about that? I think we
Look at
figured out,
that. Way better.
the golden. We get comfortable.
Welcome, everybody. Happy Saturday. We are.
There we are. Officially. Let's intro for the 4th time.
Oh, hello, everybody. Happy Saturday. Welcome. Welcome. Is it Saturday?
All
Yeah.
day.
Okay,
I don't even
that's what I
know
thought.
what day it is.
Dirk's like Saturday.
Saturday? Is it
Sure.
Tuesday?
Wednesday, Darren.
We have a meeting today?
Depends on where we are and where they are.
That's true. That's true.
We are happy to have everybody here coming in. Today is basically just a live AMA, right? So we are going to be taking your questions. We've got quite a few of them that came through beforehand that we'll cover, but anybody who is here with us live can ask questions, and we'd love to have a great conversation.
No matter how ridiculous. Well,
I mean,
within reason, probably.
There goes D-Lock.
Bare my
Super
soul.
reasonably ridiculous. Let's do it.
Okay, let's make sure that we've got access to comments everywhere. Let's see.
Everyone who shows up at 6 p.m. always has to watch 5 minutes of
Yes!
Okay.
Like, we can be 5 minutes
Confusing.
late. It's
Yeah.
fine.
That's right.
this is like a movie preview.
never show up on time to a live stream.
Right.
That's life advice.
Tom or Mark, do either one of you have anything that you specifically want to start with today?
No.
Okay, good. I love it.
You're
when
in
I get
charge.
to be
Take
in
us
charge.
away. Yeah.
You do.
Take
Okay.
us to see.
So, can we start with just kind of a reaction on how everybody's feeling about the launch of Worldbox?
Feeling good.
Us?
How
Here?
are we feeling?
Here is awesome.
Right.
Yes.
We all feel fantastic.
Are you how happy are you with the thing?
Anytime the website is forcibly destroyed out of enthusiasm,
Yeah, really. Just literally the
Feels
wheels
really
fell off
good,
of it
yeah.
halfway through. You're like driving down the freeway of sales and the wheels come off. Well,
That's the good
guess
news.
we gotta put the wheels back on.
So, we've had a lot of questions about how much quantity is available. So, can we speak to that for a minute as well?
not many.
A little bit.
We're
Mhm.
within the last 10%.
A little bit. Yeah.
Dwindling.
So that means we're like almost sold out of world boxes. So
Yes. I feel like you're about to say something. Do you know what it is?
No, it's okay.
It's
We're
not
just,
there
we're just
yet.
rolling. I'm
He'll
going
get
with the
there.
flow.
He'll get there.
Going with the flow. Yeah. I would just say we put a lot of thought into the things that we do, and Worldbox is another one of those things. And I'm excited that people are excited about it, and most people don't even know what it is yet. I mean, they see the neoprene mat and whatnot, but just there's mindfulness that goes into the inside of it too, and some of the content. So I'm excited to get it in people's hands and let them play it and have fun with it too.
Mostly we're excited that people are excited.
Yeah.
Like that's
Yeah.
the real joy for us. So
what I was going to ask is, was it better than you expected? So this week, it was crazy, right? We had planned to go to Gen Con. We had all of our Gen Con plans ready, and that goes, out the window. So we've got to do this virtual Gen Con. So from your guys' perception, was it as good as you thought it would be? Better than you thought it would be?
There's more connection that we were hoping for, a high level of connection to the community, like more feedback, more comments, more engagement. That's really what makes us go. And I think it was way more than we thought, than we anticipated it would be. So
Yeah,
that actually is where the victory is, I think.
and we didn't really know what to expect from the first ever Gen Con online, the first time we'd ever released something through our website.
Yeah.
There were so many unknown variables that it
Yeah.
was just kind of, here we go.
Yeah,
Who knows
exactly.
what the heck's going to happen?
Adam T says, I'm excited that you're excited that I'm excited.
Well, we're excited that you're excited that we're excited that you're excited.
Woof.
Okay.
Yeah.
How many layers deep did that.
I'm with
though.
Teresa on this one.
Yeah.
Okay,
They didn't pull
so
the ripcord on that.
let's talk about what everybody keeps talking about in here, which is what you just posted about on
What did you guys post?
What are you talking about?
Orange
Did you
Nebula
guys post my
timeline.
cat pictures?
That wasn't. Sorry, Derek.
Charlie's
I think it
beautiful.
was. Yeah, let's talk about
Your
the cat
weird
pictures.
pictures are out of the bag.
So let's
So
It's only a
talk,
matter of time.
It has this thing that he does. Never mind.
let's talk about Chronicles. Okay?
Oh,
What the heck? What is this? People keep.
Chronicles.
Somebody just said. What did
What?
they say in here? They're
I
like,
can't see it.
help
What?
me. I just bought the Vindication and everything else that comes with it.
Mhm.
How long am I gonna need to? How long till I'm gonna need Chronicles?
You've got a couple months, so you can recover. We built in a recovery window.
Okay, there's a 2-month recovery window. Perfect. So what the heck is it? What is it?
Going right into it,
Yeah,
are we?
I mean, we've got people
Let's just
saying
legalize
Vindication
Jason's-
Chronicles.
She's
Okay,
just scrolling.
All right, no, that's
saying-
cool. So for those of you who don't know, maybe watching on YouTube, we just 10 minutes ago posted an image on Facebook that you don't know about for our new expansion that is coming out. It's not the World Box. The World Box is new as well, but we announced Chronicles, which is a new expansion that's coming that we've been working on and feel very, very good about. I will go into a little bit. Okay,
Okay.
so people have been asking for more depth and narrative and story. I'm not necessarily saying asking for that in Vindication, but they're hungering for it and they're wondering if those types of things are being considered. And so we did an expansion that focuses on that type of experience. So it has events and it has a timeline for each person and it has, I don't want to give away everything, but
Yeah, it's an idea that a couple of members of the community that you might know, named Marcel Claxton and Patrick Kerwin, who are regulars in all the Orange Nebula spaces, contacted us and presented an idea for an expansion that was very much in line with what we were already working on, which was a great sign that we're all excited about taking Vindication in the same direction. So we kind of smushed our ideas together and it sped everything up considerably. And basically everything in the Chronicles expansion just adds an extra layer of depth and story to all the things that you're already doing in Vindication, which is my favorite kind of expansion because there's not a whole bunch of new mechanics to learn. It's just a little bit of extra substance to the things you're already doing to give them more meaning and to give them a couple extra layers of nuance and complexity, but nothing crazy.
now to completely contradict that,
Yes.
I will say that there are new mechanisms and it is entirely new content. It is not a reimagination of the same content. It's new content, new mechanisms that I think what Tom is saying is doesn't add a whole lot of heaviness to what you're already doing.
But it's all, I guess what I was poorly communicating is that it's all tied to the existing content.
Yeah,
It's not Vindication plus there's this whole other board that you go to and new stuff happens over here. It's all really well woven into the existing framework is, I guess, a better way of saying it.
yeah, a lot of story.
It adds narrative and story to the things you're
Yeah, the
already doing.
Chronicles means basically stories, and so it's got a couple of different story modes. Actually, there's several modules.
But it's a full-on proper expansion. World Box is a loot box. This is an actual expansion experience that I will never not play with.
Okay,
Yeah.
a few follow-up questions coming in here. First of all, is it champagne mode? I think they meant campaign mode, but
I
then
like
somebody
champagne
said
mode.
bubbly Vindication, which I think is also really good.
I need to up my gameplay.
Yeah, it does not introduce a campaign. Champagne,
That's up to you.
we could argue.
You can always introduce
Yeah,
champagne
it is a little
into
bubbly.
Vindication.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Will Chronicles be a Kickstarter or can they have it yesterday?
Kickstarter.
It will be a Kickstarter. You
Mhm.
cannot have it yesterday. But I don't blame you for asking. I would ask too.
Right.
Okay, so will there be another Kickstarter for Vindication?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're out of Vindication,
Yeah,
so
people have been hounding us for more Vindication, and the Kickstarter for Chronicles is going to be also where you go to get the base game if you don't have it.
And just like the other Kickstarters, it's going to have some community engagement, some content. There's going to be the opportunity to build a community pack for the members of the community and Kickstarter as we go, just like we usually do.
William wants to know if Chronicles will only be for group or solo play or both.
That's a good question. At this point, with all the modules, there are so many different possible variations of the game that we're going to continue to design the expansion content for the base game and not assume that everyone has existing expansions and things like that. I see no reason right now that it wouldn't work in solo mode. We haven't tested that though.
Yeah, that one hasn't been tested, but it's definitely a consideration.
John over on YouTube wants to know if there will be a Chronicles for Unsettled.
Maybe down the road. Unsettled is its own beast.
So also we're hearing the Kickstarter for Chronicles starts tomorrow, right? That's what we're being asked here.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I wish.
Any idea when we are projecting? Do we want to talk about that or not yet?
It's hard to make promises.
Mhm.
If I estimated we're gonna, between now and January is probably a goal that we have. It might be on the shorter end of that. It might be on the longer end of that. I'm not really sure yet. There's a warning, but I don't want to go on that.
Yeah,
That's good.
it's
That's
good.
Yeah.
It's good.
Blake wants to know if the Kickstarter is going to supply a bigger box for all the expansions.
There's not a big enough box for what we're going to be doing with Vindication. I'll just tell you right now. There's more coming down the pipe after, depending on what how we approach this.
Chronicles is going to be the exact same size as Leaders.
Yeah.
At a certain point, we just, it's not all going to fit in the box. That's just the nature of continuously adding things.
What if we could design a custom plastic tub, that could just fit all of it?
We did design those. They're available at your local.
Right.
The container store.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Vindication caboodle.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're like train cars now, right? Because eventually there's.
Yeah,
gonna be-
see, people are on Vindication Trove Box.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Vindication storage unit.
Will it all fit? Will it all fit in a car? John wants to know.
Depends on your car.
That's a good
Very
point.
true.
Hopefully someday, no.
Nick wants to know if there will be any more minis.
Not in this one.
Okay.
Not in this expansion. It's an interesting question. From Orange Nebula, I would say probably, but when it's relevant and appropriate.
We're hearing, we've got all the box requests, okay? Will there be a box for the promo packs and smaller items? I'm out of room for cards.
That's
That's
interesting.
interesting.
That's not a bad suggestion.
I'm listening. I'm
Mhm.
listening to you. Think that sounds cool?
Okay.
Maybe.
Adam's
Yeah, that's an interesting one.
Adam's wife says they already want to get a bigger house for their games. So
Definitely. That's a must.
yes.
If this is what it takes to have you take that leap, we've got you.
That's right.
You're welcome.
What do you think about Orange Nebula mask?
I would
Okay.
love one.
Yes.
I'll be
Like a
honest,
blueprint.
we talked about this, and basically where we came down was, is every single company on Earth currently making a mask?
Oh, yeah. That
And
is
then we
the
said,
thing.
so why the heck would we?
Yeah, that's fair.
Like, do we want to do what everyone else is doing?
And
And might we anyway? Probably.
Probably so.
But right now, there's no major enthusiasm, at least for me, for it.
yeah, fair point.
I do feel like masks are going to be a bigger part of our lifestyle
I
moving
do
forward.
too. So it might make sense down the line.
It may make sense down the line. If we do, I'm really kind of in favor of a really subtle logo with some color texture variations, but not like a big plastic
It's just
logo.
going to be Ronak.
Or like
Ronak
the gaping
Maw.
maw.
The gaping-
Oh my gosh, the gaping
Oh.
mom mask. That's terrifying. I can't wear that around children.
I would still
Supplemented?
rather have Ronak and Tuk fighting socks.
Would you want
Yeah.
a mask from Orange Nebula? That's the big question.
Blake
And
says-
if they do.
Blake
Thumbs
says,
up or
please
something.
make unsettled masks because people not wearing one is
It's
unsettling.
unsettling.
Yeah, agreed.
On theme.
Okay. Let's see. When will Odyssey ship? Logistical question there.
Odyssey is being manufactured right now,
Yep.
and it will ship when it's done.
Yeah, it's soon.
Yeah,
It's very close.
weeks.
Yeah, there's 10 companies between, us and you. So, but very soon.
How will Chronicles jive with the other expansions? Will it jive well with the other expansions? Any ideas on that?
So we've talked a lot about this. It's getting to the point where you cannot play with everything at the same time. Okay, like you could. That's crazy talk.
Mhm.
What we would like to have is every time you pull out Vindication, you have options for all the different types of configurations you could make, and it's just like you can have a different experience every time you play. This one will play alongside pretty much everything else. Okay, I don't recommend that you play with everything at the same time, but you can play it alongside leaders, and you can play it alongside, Myths and Wonders and those types of things. Not a problem. But yeah, it's definitely not going to exclude very much. If it does, it'll be very minor.
Samantha had a little clapback about your thought about everybody's making masks right now. She goes, "Well, lots of people make T-shirts."
Ooh.
Dang.
Ouch.
Fair enough.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You win.
Yeah.
I'll look into it.
Somebody had a very specific question. I'm not sure why I put it in here, but now I have to say it. In Unsettled, the science breakthrough tiles, about how big are those in real life? Are they're like this
The
big?
breakthrough cards?
Yes.
So they're talking about the Discovery chits.
Did you see the question
No.
on Facebook?
You
earlier?
responded to it with the bananas.
Yeah, you responded to it with
Oh, the
bananas.
environment cards are 110 millimeters by 110 millimeters. They're big.
Okay.
They're huge.
Mhm.
The
So-
sleeves that we've just designed for them, actually we have them, don't we?
I'll go grab some.
Yeah, we have them. They're the biggest sleeves that we've ever seen on cards ever. They're bigger than tarot size card sleeves. And yeah, they're very large.
Here's an interesting idea in Vindication. It would be great if you had recommended configurations for all the expansions.
See, we could do that, and I think that would be fairly easy there. I think there are some on Board Game Geek. We don't want to tell people how to play. We want them to decide what they like the best. But I also agree with the, recommendations are good. Hey, if you're just starting out, don't overdo it.
Is there a lot of chatter in Board Game Geek already about this type of thing?
Yeah, Board Game Geek is deep. There's a lot of stuff in there. But if you're not familiar with that or you don't go there, which you should, we could look into some of that. The problem is I think we're going to continue to make more stuff, and so the configurations are going to change and evolve over time. I think what might help us do that is to hear what those are from you guys and from the community, and maybe we'll ask some more of those questions. That sounds like a good thing we can do. Huh?
Yeah,
Oh,
I'm seeing a couple other people talk about with an easy way to organize and separate everything so that you could easily choose which expansions you play with in each game. It would be interesting to get some data, some
Right.
feedback from people about what they're playing with each other, what modules, etc.
This actually reinforces that earlier point that maybe we could look into a module box or a promo module box that basically lets you easily kind of stack and sort all of the content. Keep in mind that you may then have to have a second module box and a third module box as time goes on, but that's
All right.
an interesting.
So here's a standard playing card size card. This is from Control by Keymaster, by the way. If you don't have this, it's awesome. That's how big
environment.
the environment
Can you hold
cards
them
are.
side by side too on there?
so somebody asked on Facebook if it was about the size of the coaster, and I would say,
Bigger.
yeah, a little bit, yeah.
Here's a coaster.
Well, yeah, but that's round.
That's what a coaster is.
I know, but
Well, that's why coasters are like bananas.
Coaster for
They're-
scale.
That's fair. That's fair. Okay.
How big is it compared to a hand?
Who's
But that's
hand?
a real hand.
What about an unladen swallow?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to come over here and ask a not game related question that was submitted for a second. So, if you could improve your craft, what would you choose to intentionally improve? about your craftsmanship? Let's start over here since we haven't gotten a lot on your side.
Craftsmanship.
Yes.
Continue to improve.
So how would you
Derek's like,
describe your?
What's there to improve?
Obviously.
So Derek is like our digital lead, right? So he's responsible for. Am I?
No, I'm just taking a drink. I was telling them, shh, don't tell these guys I'm taking a drink.
Well, we can all see you.
Yeah.
Now you can.
Yeah, thanks for drawing attention to it.
Oh, Derek builds our website. He's in charge of
Wall
basically
Street.
any IT things happening. How would you improve your? What would you choose to be better at if you could improve yourself in your craft?
Making sure sites don't crash when they get bombarded by thousands of people.
That's what we were gonna say.
That would probably be it right now.
Okay, what about you, Teresa?
I don't know. I mean, probably have more time to learn more fun things that would influence how I think and problem solve.
I love it.
That's
Very good.
Yeah.
Any thoughts from you two?
Oh man, it's constant improvement with me.
That's a tough question.
Right, like that one wasn't fun.
I mean, being
Putting my mask on
faster,
properly.
being faster at anything is better.
Faster and still without the loss or degradation of quality.
Yeah.
I think.
Faster.
Well, I can go real fast. It's just terrible.
Right, exactly.
Patrick says, Tom has long hair, Mark has short hair. Girls are both rocking the colors. Derek, do you have a mohawk under that hat?
He's got spikes.
And wrong. Winning hair for the win. I couldn't even get a mohawk even if I tried. I mean, I could probably.
Do the phone.
I bet we could do something.
Wisp hawk.
Yeah, the wisp hawk, exactly. It's the wisp hawk. Just blows over in the wind.
Nick Dixon wants to know, with the roll mat, with the neoprene mat we put out, are we going to do any sort of a travel box to go with it?
So what you can't see in anything that's out there is it actually comes with an Oxford cloth bag with a drawstring and some embroidery. It's super nice. We don't have it, and we can't get good photography currently, so we just didn't show it. But it actually has a really cool bag. So,
but it is rolled. It comes rolled, right?
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
It comes rolled, and it's going to have that bag with it too.
Daniel asked again when the Kickstarter is slated for. Not again, but we had said it already. But do we know? Do we have? Oh yeah, we said we're not making promises we can't keep. That was our answer.
Are we talking about the Chronicles?
Yeah.
Correct.
We're calling it Q4. It's a loose Q4 right now.
420.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Did you all hear
Yeah.
that?
We call it, so the Kickstarter,
job
we refer to it as
clarifying.
V3.
Yeah.
So it's going to be Vindication plus
2032.
everything that's ever been done for Vindication, including Chronicles. And
And a lot of that's dependent on, like, we're not going to switch gears to that until Unsettled is completely out the door.
Yeah.
So once that happens, then we're going to be willing to start making commitments to timetables for Vindication, but we're not going to move our time and resources over onto Vindication until we're done with Unsettled.
right.
So it's kind of, everything's connected, yeah.
Okay. We got a Vindication gift.
Drop those everywhere.
Also, everybody's solving our box problems. They're like, what about a box that's the same size as the old Vindication box that we could fit army modules in? So we have two
Of the
boxes.
same
The same size for all of our expansions. Oh.
It's just a shipping thing.
Yeah,
Right?
getting
Like-
that box to you costs $30.
Yeah,
Um,
it's a. I bet we could solve the problem.
and we probably will someday, but it to make that box, we would need to know that 5,000 to 10,000 people were going to purchase it, and then we would need to be able to afford to ship it to everyone. And that's probably a bridge we will cross someday. I don't think we're there yet, but we're not shutting it down. We're just kicking the can.
I like the idea though,
I do too.
and it's got our wheels turning. And so you've started a discussion that we're going to take seriously. I just don't know as far as timeline goes, but I actually like the idea.
Mhm,
Like I
me too.
would have it and want it too.
I'm such a
Me too.
organization freak when it comes to that stuff. So
Yeah, maybe you could actually hold the expansion boxes too.
Yeah, I like that as well.
Chronicles is going to be the same size as Leaders. So,
Mhm.
We'll make a sleeve for your boxes, and then they'll just.
We're getting t-shirt chatter. Mitchell says that you're wearing his favorite shirt of ours.
Yes.
Adam says he's wearing this shirt, or not he's wearing it, but he just ordered this one.
I love
Also,
that one. I was going to wear that, and then Lacey wore it, and so then I had to.
It looks great with my outfit.
Let's point
Leave
out
me alone.
Teresa and I's twinsies.
Yeah.
I know.
And like, I felt bad as soon as you sat down. I was like, dang it.
I knew it was gonna happen. I
But
knew
you know
it
what? I
was.
was in screen first, so
I was wearing that before they showed up,
Oh
and
my
so
gosh.
I
And
put
was
this
thinking
one
it was
on.
gonna
But
be you.
actually, we designed this one too, just for one of our clients on the Blue Blazes side. So local coffee roaster.
So we're all wearing our
You
shirts.
can't get it, but
But the malfunction tee is in stock and it is now shipping.
And it just
Yeah,
came in
they just came
yesterday.
in.
Yeah.
So
So
if you don't have one and you want one,
It will be
Or
hitting
simply
the mail
dot
next
com.
week.
yep,
Yep.
yeah.
Mhm.
Way
What
to plug.
about Tuk Tuk and Ronak stuffies?
Yes.
I would love that.
Me
What
too.
about Tuk
Yes.
Tuk and Ronak
Plushies
stuffies?
all day, every day.
I love it.
What about Luna stuffies?
What about-
We're all big
Yeah.
fans of stuffies around
You're gonna
here.
fall in love with Luna soon.
Luna's
Okay.
actually in the live stream,
Yeah, Luna is in the live stream. Actually, Luna's in the live stream probably
Where's
6 or
Luna?
7 times.
but you're gonna have to figure out where she is.
Mhm.
So
And how many of her exist?
Yeah. Let's
Find
make a
Luna.
game.
Find
find
Luna.
the Luna.
If you can tell us how many Lunas there are in here, you get 5 bonus points that are fake and have no value.
Or there's-
Except
Unredeemable.
There's an easy one.
I like Renee's comment in here.
My mom just logged in. Hi, Mom. Love you.
What is it?
Renee says, but we're still in March, so the Kickstarter is expected to be an infinite March. I vibe with that comment.
We're still in
We're
March
still in
because
March.
it's like that's when you
Time.
That's true.
COVID times.
Yeah.
Okay.
March V12.
Yeah.
By the way, comment from one of Derek's comments before was about you making the site crash.
Oh,
you know?
yes.
Yeah.
Is
All you.
Shame me.
stop selling great products and your site won't crash.
Yeah, Derek.
It
Yeah.
was that easy the whole
Come on,
time.
Derek.
So that's the
I was set up for
solution.
failure from the beginning. We're just
Oh,
Dang.
Derek.
Ooh, Terrence wants to know about a Vindication branded coffee for Gen Con someday. Ooh.
Okay.
peculiar.
Interesting.
Not yet.
I'll tell you what. We're
Table
all,
it.
we're all going to high five each other and say nothing.
Ah!
Anyways.
I have yours. I think I got a high five. Where's the hand
Exactly.
sanitizer?
Yeah, I was about to say,
Yeah.
now I need to
That's the,
sanitize.
that's the first
Sanitize.
hand that I've touched.
That's the first
Yeah.
high five I've given in a long
Including
time.
your own.
Thank you.
Yeah, I don't even touch
I
my
can't
own hands
believe
when I'm
I've done
washing
this. This is my fault.
Hey, does anybody
impossible to
here
do.
actually know how many lunas there are around us? Because somebody said 5.
We
Did
were
they
gonna
win?
we were gonna
Ah.
count after this.
Yeah.
Because if we count
We'll get
now,
back to you.
Yeah,
William's idea
there are
for
that many.
William's idea for the coffee brand is a treacherous coffee.
That would-
Oh.
Yeah.
It's just disgusting. It's called treachery.
it's better than scumbag.
I was about to say scum coffee.
Which of us would win in a fight?
Teresa.
Yep, that was
Yeah,
the
Teresa
I would say.
is karate queen.
I mean, I don't even need to stand up for myself with that one.
No.
I think you're wearing a Mortal Kombat mask, like just the whole thing.
Yeah, pretty much.
It's just like touch of death. Boom.
Finish it.
Teresa, can you tell them how amazing you are?
I mean, no. So
Yes, expound upon
Yeah.
it.
okay. So I met my husband in high school, and this is a karate story.
That's a great overheard that just happened right now.
Okay, so
I feel like you should just end right there. That's even better than any story.
This is the karate story.
Theo over here says you look like Katana.
I'll take it.
Mm-hmm. Should I not have said that? Does that mean something?
No,
I don't know.
No,
Okay.
okay, so Katana is the name of a
We'll
character.
bleep that out.
I don't
That's
know.
really offensive.
Okay.
Pull us back on track here.
I'm sorry. We got off. Unsettled expansion idea. Wally knockoff Luna companion.
It's just called E-Wall.
That's good.
That's better than AWOL, though.
Okay.
It's just called Wall O.
Blake
Not as
said.
cool as Ewok.
Blake says bunch of kind of things. Hey.
Boom.
I hope that sticks around for a while. I really
You know
enjoy
what
it.
I miss? Oatmeal Dragon.
I do.
Both of
Oatmeal
those
dragon
things are Teresa
plushie.
things.
That's true.
I'm bringing the trends.
You are.
You have
Karen-
the best misspeaks.
And the worst.
Karen had a question. She got on late. Chronicles will be a Kickstarter. Yes, there will be a Kickstarter with Vindication and Chronicles Q4-ish. late Q4-ish
Of 2020.
of 2020.
Which is the year we're currently in.
Yeah, in case
For
you
those who
let
just
me-
tuned in, it is still 2020.
And it
Okay.
has been for 4 years.
Okay, Tom and Mark, what is the biggest challenge, or what has been the biggest challenge in designing Unsettled?
Sleep.
Oh man.
I mean, workload wise, it's definitely the fact that there are 6 planets.
It's basically 6 games.
It kind of is.
And the balancing a co-op game, in my experience, has been harder than it is a competitive game. So balancing 6 cooperative games is a challenge. And so we I mean, literally thousands of hours each at this point. So it's definitely a passion project, a labor of love.
It would have
I know the
been,
Kickstarter did really well, but we are deep into Unsettled, and it is, you know, it's something that we are very passionate about.
if we had just made one planet and made like 3 times as much content for that planet, or 6 times as much content for that one planet, it would have been 50 times easier.
Yeah, you'd already have it.
Yeah, but it wouldn't be nearly as cool. So here we are.
Yeah, this is a system. It's a game system, and each planet is its own game. And then each planet, each time you play, is its own kind of sub game. So it's pretty cool.
Anything else other than there's a lot of work that we want to say about what was complex about Unsettled? Difficult?
Just balancing, yeah. I mean, it's when you play it, you'll kind of understand. It's like there's a lot of nuance to it, and when you have as much depth as that game has, and nuance for different player counts and different player levels of experience, which is something we haven't really talked about.
And we tried really hard to make it so that everything varied a lot game to game. So when you find this little chittering animal, it doesn't do the same thing every single solitary game. So we made all these systems that kind of interlock and interweave in weird ways every time. And that just introduces a million more variables to balance and to playtest over and over and over again. And it would have been far less
I will
complex.
say one thing that's interesting about Unsettled that we are releasing that we haven't really seen done before, and that is that we're gonna, since it's a cooperative game, there's gonna be different levels of difficulty among the same group. So you can have 2 people that played Unsettled a ton, and they can invite a new person, and that new person can adjust their difficulty to be different than the other 2 people and be on the same team. And that is cool. I think we're really happy about that.
Game idea.
Boom.
You've been kicked off the Scarab, then you find yourself washed ashore on some distant planet.
That sounds like William. Is that William?
Yes, it is. Did you know that?
William.
Okay, has it been easier for the whole team to produce during quarantine time, or harder?
I'd say different.
Okay.
Like you just face different challenges. You still
Yeah.
have a similar level of challenge. It's just different.
I don't think I'd say whether it was easier or harder.
Some
I'd say it's
things were
easier
harder.
to focus because you don't have a lot of distraction going
Yeah.
on.
We are at a point in the development cycle for the game, if we're talking specifically about the game, where we need a ton of play testing.
Right.
And for people to literally not be allowed to be together was definitely a
Yeah.
fly in that ointment.
It set us back.
Yeah.
I'll tell you, the original plan was to actually have Unsettled at Gen Con. You know, we said October, but we were going to try to beat it again, and that just did not happen. Thanks to COVID. We did take advantage of the lag and made the game better in the meantime, but that's just what we do.
John says that in response to your question or your comments about how people who have played the game more versus people who have played the game less, and you can work that way. John says he's so glad because now he can play with his stupid friends.
We all have them, and if you don't, it's you.
Oh yeah. Uh-huh. Okay. When the Vindication Kickstarter does happen, potentially Q4-ish, no promises. Can you buy the world blocks then?
Yeah. Well,
Well,
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, we
Answer
think
too
so.
quickly.
Maybe. What are your thoughts, Tom?
I'm gonna go
That-
Tom
that's-
on that one.
I mean, that is still. We would like to do that. It's a logistical manufacturing scale question that we're still working through. So that's an ongoing conversation with all of our manufacturing partners, and that is the goal. But we're not ready to promise it yet, is what I would say.
Yeah, we're doing short runs on these, and we would like to meet the demand. We're definitely not going to overproduce them
Mhm.
at all. And
We-
so if demand is high enough and we've been out, we probably will do another small run.
The goal for our Kickstarters is for you to be able to get everything through the Kickstarter, but that will probably not always work out. It's just kind of the nature of the beast. So right now, this first run of World Boxes that we're darn near sold out of, the idea was get something for Gen Con, but we had no idea what to expect from Gen Con, so we made a small number of them, and that's what we're doing right now. We will probably be able to make more of these for the Kickstarter, but we can't promise it yet.
Mm-hmm.
We had Leslie come in and just give some kind of gratitude and congratulations, or just some honor to Patrick and Marcel
Yes.
for the work
Honor
that they
indeed.
did.
They've done
Well
incredible work on
deserved.
that.
Mhm.
And we'll continue to do incredible work. We're working together as a group.
We love the community and we listen to you guys, and I hope it shows because we take the comments seriously, we take criticism seriously, and we think it makes us better. So please know that your voice will be heard.
We know it.
Even if we don't acknowledge every single comment that we get, every single email that we get, they do matter.
Mhm. And we do read them out loud to each other. So.
Yeah.
What game out in the world right now are you most jealous of?
Jealous of. That's interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Different. Oh, that is interesting.
That flips it.
Yes, it does.
Envy.
I'm envious of almost all the Keymaster stuff that comes out. What's that? Is it Keymaster is Parks, right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. When I saw how they were repping that game on Instagram, I was like, wow. Like they were doing, it was so beautiful. All the art that they put out was so beautiful, and it was so simple how they were presenting things online. I felt jealous.
I've got one. There is a game I haven't gotten the chance to get my hands on yet, but it's called 1,000-Year-Old Vampire. Have you guys seen this? It's a book. It's basically a choose your own adventure book, and you play it solo, and you work through this whole narrative with a dice and another journal just to kind of keep track of stuff. It's fascinating, and I'm jealous of the concept.
That's cool. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I talked about this yesterday, but I really like the design space of the Arkham Horror card game and how with every pack of cards, they basically get to build an entire new game. That game is a masterpiece in my opinion, and I would love to work on that. So I don't know if I'm jealous of that so much as I just respect the heck out of it. I'm jealous of Feudum. The little wood pieces in Feudum are incredible. That game's gorgeous.
I think for me, I don't think there's a perfect game out there. There's no such thing. But I really like Jamie Stegmaier from Stonemaier Games has a series of videos that he makes, my favorite mechanism or whatever.
Mhm.
I'm jealous of a lot of the little mechanisms that people are devising these days that are part of a bigger game. But it's those little nuances that create little experiences and make people happy. And when they do something, it feels really rewarding, or that they're leveling up, or that they made a really good choice. Those are the things that we go for. And I do get jealous when I see other people innovate something I wish I had.
Yeah, exactly.
But see, that just makes me happy too that other people are finding success doing those
Kyle
things.
Key, the Keymaster.
Yes!
All the
Oh!
Nebula games too.
Hey!
We love Kyle.
Okay, not to jump ahead, but when does the Unsettled Netflix series start?
If you know somebody, have them connect with us.
Yeah,
That could be
look
really
us up.
cool,
Look us
man.
up with Netflix, HBO, whatever.
Yeah,
Amazon
we're down
Prime.
for that.
We'll make it happen.
So we don't want to talk to Hulu, and we don't want to talk to Yahoo. So just let that go. But if you can introduce us to anyone else, we'll consider it.
Disney, preferably for me.
Ooh.
Sure. Yeah.
I mean,
Oh,
They own
We'll s-
everything.
We'll
They do.
see. We'll see.
all hail.
William Bright in here says he just ordered a copy of Vindication since his excitement for Unsettled just keeps growing,
Ooh.
and that we're doing an amazing job building the hype. Is that what we're doing?
Unsettled's just vaporware to sell Vindication.
I-
It seems to be working.
You're gonna love them both for different reasons, hopefully.
Let's clarify something here for a second. So I think it was Blake asked, with the world boxes, since they're stated as first edition, which is something that just kind of came out of my mouth during our video. Nobody told me to say that
Since Lacey's
phrase
randomly called
exactly.
it.
So let's clear that up. Will there be any possible changes if other additions are made? So can we clear that up a little?
Yeah, so there will be future world boxes that are completely different with all new content. So think of world boxes as just treasure chests, and we're going to keep making them. The language we've been using right now is that this is a first limited printing because we only made a small number of them. We are likely to make more down the line, but right now we're only selling what we have physically already made, if that makes sense.
Yeah, and whatever we reprint would be the exact same.
Yeah, we won't
content.
change it
Yeah.
because then we have to deal with the emails.
So there will be
lots of them.
So there will be lots of world boxes potentially diving into the worlds that we've built. The content wouldn't be the same in any of them, but we may do secondary runs as things.
If there seems like there's a demand for a secondary run of anyone, we will talk about it.
Okay.
Yeah, it's something that you don't want to necessarily plan on. It's just kind of like a burst. Like we're just gonna, they're just limited and small, and we
They're
don't
just
know what the
supposed to
demand
be
is.
fun loot boxes. They're not like a proper expansion that's a necessary part of the experience. They're just, if you're really into the world of Vindication or Unsettled or at one of our other properties when we're doing world boxes for those, it's just fun promotional
It's a
stuff.
super promo box,
Yeah,
like a big
mega
thing
promo.
full of like stretch goals type
Mhm.
stuff.
Derek, will you star in Vindication the musical?
Yes, I will. Nick, I read your
Yeah.
comment and couldn't contain my excitement.
Like he's glowing.
I'm just all
I looked over you and we made eye contact and it was
We
like,
knew exactly what
Yes.
about. Yeah.
All three of these can sing. I can't sing. I don't know if Tom can
I'll be
sing.
the-
but
I'll
these
be the
three
backup
I've heard
dancers.
sing, and they have incredible voices, all three of them.
We Make
Okay.
it happen.
Well, thank you.
You do.
Okay. What else? With everything that you have going on at the moment, how do you even find time to create and work on the additional planets?
We don't know.
Go back in time. Time travel.
William says we must not sleep.
That's true.
Sleeping
That's
with dead,
weird.
yeah.
That is actually true.
Let the dead past buried, it's dead.
Nobody can hear you when you talk that
Mumble,
quiet.
mumble,
Let the
mumble.
dead past buried, it's dead.
Okay.
Better?
We'll let them decide.
And they will.
While everybody has to sit and wait, can we make a tabletop sim demo?
Of
Unsettled?
Oh, man.
oh boy.
Unsettled's a beast. Listen,
Yeah.
this game is big, and it's got a lot of stuff and parts, and
I love what we're seeing with the tabletop sim stuff. I think that's amazing. I think it's a big part of the hobby's future. I also think putting some of those modules together, you're talking about dozens, hundreds of hours of work to get the files done right. And right now doing that would mean hundreds of hours of work on that instead of finishing the game.
Yeah.
And we just have to pick our priorities. You see how many people we are. It's just, we would love to do that. We have a lot of respect for Tabletop Simulator and whatever the other one was, the name is escaping me. So we're definitely not ruling that out, but right now it's not a priority. So I understand why it should be in the future, I guess is a better way of saying it.
John wants to know, in Unsettled, will we figure out how these planets line up and know what solar systems they're in, what kind of stars they have?
I submitted a big map from NASA and had it and told everybody else to figure it out. You guys haven't done that yet?
Do your
I
homework.
gave you homework.
Right. No, that's gonna be. These are unknown. I mean, you went through a wormhole. I mean, there's no way you're gonna know where you are. That's
There
part of the
may
terror
or
of
may
trying
not
to survive.
be Easter eggs tying the planets together. There may or may not.
By the way, how many Lunas do we have? Does anybody actually know the number? Because somebody guessed 5.
No, we have one here.
Yeah.
We got one up there. There's two.
Here.
There's three.
But we're counting them all for them.
There's the
though.
one in my heart
Yeah. The ethereal Luna that is always
that lives in all of
the
us.
omnipresent.
The one
Maybe
that
it's
just
just
whispers
three.
in our
I think
ear.
it's just three.
Only 3?
Yeah,
Where's the
only
one
three.
that has the LED?
The one that has its eyes burned out.
Wait, what?
If you found 2 extra, you need to screenshot and highlight those bad boys.
Yeah, or
Mepper,
Kickstarter, it didn't happen.
Mepper over on YouTube says, every time you say World Box, I hear robots. So when are we getting the robots?
oh, they're already here.
Yeah, they handle your money.
They are here.
They look at your face.
We are the bots.
We are 5 bots.
Oh, jeez.
Jolly,
think I've seen this one.
Jolly Roger
You seen
over
this
on.
guy?
No,
We're thinking about putting LEDs in there
that'd be cool.
and making it glow blue.
Oh, I like it. Jolly Roger over on YouTube.
This is not the size of the minis. These are 3D
I'm
printed.
never gonna let
Sorry.
me finish.
Like,
They're like, oh my gosh, they're so big!
Ah!
They're awesome!
That box is gonna be massive.
why are we?
Yes.
We don't think any of you sound like that.
No,
That's
just-
our excited voice.
We just copy strong back.
This is the voice of people. All right, everyone,
Excitement.
shush. Lacey, speak.
Thank you. Jolly Roger on YouTube said they just jumped in and wanted clarification. Yes, we are talking about a Kickstarter for Chronicles as an expansion plus a reprint of Vindication, potentially late Q4-ish, no promises. Okay, Blake Whitaker wants to know, are you all vindicated now? Or are you still guilt-ridden?
Definitely guilt-ridden.
It's a daily fight. I mean, I restart that battle every morning.
That's what I was thinking
That's
too.
a fair answer.
Mhm. Depends on the day.
Mhm.
Some days my honor points are high.
Mhm. Other days,
No.
No,
no.
and my
Like
mount
when you
is
leave a
slow
burrito out.
again.
If you want to hear more long-winded, real answers to this, listen to our podcast.
Yeah,
We get
Mhm.
kind of real on there.
Yeah.
This probably isn't the venue for a bunch of soul searching, but we do that on the podcast.
Yeah, for sure.
Simon Larson, who has been here the whole time, very active, thank you, just says, just why FYI, it's 3:45 here in Sweden.
Yes, Simon.
Wow.
That's awesome.
Somebody doesn't have to work tomorrow.
It's Sunday.
It's
I don't know.
tomorrow's Sunday.
That's why I said that.
Oh,
It's already
He fell right into his trap.
It's already Sunday.
Okay, here's a Vindication mechanics related question.
You.
Oh no.
What part or aspect of Vindication are you most proud of? Answer that question while I use the restroom.
What part of?
Oh boy, we lost Lacey.
Did you
It's
hear-
coming off
did
the
you hear the
rails
question?
now.
All right, I'll look at this thing. Mark, go for it.
My favorite part of Vindication, well, Vindication was designed with the intent that people could tell their own story as they play and have it be replayable differently every time you play, right? You can take different paths. You're going to have different map regions out, different configurations, different companions, stuff like that. So the flexibility of that is probably the thing that I love the most about it, and the fact that you could just swap in all these modules and all this additional content. It's very flexible. It's a dynamic system. At least it's trying to be a dynamic system. I'm trying to make it dynamic. That would be my favorite thing. I mean, I'm really close to all of it, but yeah, I've played more than probably anyone,
I would assume so.
and yeah, I still really like it. Hasn't burned out on me.
Yeah, I think the thing about Vindication that I still enjoy the most is the way that the attribute wheel works like the color wheel. I think that's so elegant and says a lot about us as people, which is really cool. I like that it plays quickly. That's something that we always aim for in our designs, and it worked really well in Vindication. All right.
All right,
All right, go
move.
for
I
it.
had two things that I
I was
really
about to do it.
Hold on. Derek wants to talk about Vindication.
I love the game trays. It's super organized. It was amazing. But what I love most is the replayability of it. This is different almost every single time because you draw your tiles out of it.
Yep.
So your strategy changes every single. So you consistently have to be thinking you can't go in at the same strategy every single time.
I'm glad we all like our game.
Yes, this is good.
Mm-hmm.
This is good.
Terrence wants to know if we all have tomorrow off. What is
Yes.
off
Yeah.
exactly?
How do we qualify that?
Because like we still have to, well, we don't have to, but we still likely will respond to people's comments and hang out with people on social. And is that off? Is that on?
Typically, we try to shut it down for the weekend. We don't come into the office on the weekends. The second we get on social media, we're at work, so there's still a little bit of that, but generally we try to take it easy on the weekends. That's something that we aim to do. Right now it is Gen Con, so everyone will be on at least a little bit tomorrow. But
Your mom's calling us out.
My mom says they are never off.
Yeah. I work a little bit every day. Every single day, but that's just because I love what I do. So, but I don't overdo it on the weekends. Do I? Okay.
depends who you are.
Next question.
Move on.
Okay. Has anybody actually been playing any games lately? Or are we basically gamed out right now?
I get games in, I guess not often compared to gamers.
Yeah.
I've been playing other than Unsettled, obviously. My wife and I get in the game like every other week, I would say, probably. Maybe less.
I'm a once a month, when I'm honest.
Yeah.
Mhm.
These are lame answers, but we're super
Yeah.
busy.
Because we work on the weekends, we're never off.
COVID's made it harder.
Yeah.
Okay, they're designing our next small game. The next game is going to be called Overheard at Orange Nebula. It's a small box card game. Okay.
We're already playing this game.
Does that sound good?
We could
They
make
have
a
to
game
determine
out of
who
that,
said
actually.
who
Yep,
said
that's
the
what they
quote.
said. Social deduction. Who said what?
It's like guess who, you know, like guess who type board, right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Does this person have blue hair? Yes or no?
Nobody
Is this
has blue
comment
hair
weirdly
now.
aggressive?
Well, it's like blue purple.
That's true.
If you look at it in the right light, it's the
It's a blurple.
That's what I was
Blurple.
going to say. It must have been a common, obvious thing to say.
purple.
So
Um,
basic.
Here's an interesting question here. What's our favorite video of Vindication basics? They want to get their wife excited as she has been intimidated by the game right now.
Well, don't hit her with it.
We've got really good feedback across the board that Vindication is intimidating, but once you dive in, you feel like, oh, well, that's actually much easier than it looks. We will post at the end of this live stream. In this, we will put a link to. I think there's one in particular I can think of that makes it really simple. And it actually wasn't done by us; it was done by somebody in the community. So if I can find that, I'll post it at the end of this Q&A.
Okay.
You know which one I'm talking about?
No.
It's like 9 minutes long, 8 minutes long.
Which
It's
one
That
is it?
sounds good.
I don't know.
Johnson's game? No.
No, it's not. No, it's
Okay.
somebody in the community made it.
Okay.
Okay. After Unsettled, what's the next game? We talked about it a little bit on the live stream yesterday. At least talked about the fact that one exists.
Sure does.
So what do you want to talk about in it? What's the next they say what's the next frontier, but in parentheses game. Okay, so maybe could be more than just a game. What else? What's the next frontier?
Well, I mean, there's a couple things in the hopper, right? And just like any kind of species, we don't know how long. Well, we don't know how long the gestation period on these things is going to take. We're all pregnant, but we don't know how long it's going to take.
Go on.
That's it. You gotta wrap that one up. You
What
can't
happens
leave it.
next?
Watch a couple videos on YouTube. Figure it out.
We do have a third game coming. We're feeling really good about it. We do about an hour a day on it as an escape. It is too early to really reveal anything about it because it's at the stage of the process where no matter what we tell you, it's going to change dramatically. It is not as big as Unsettled. How would you compare it to Vindication size-wise? A little smaller?
More accessible. So
Yeah.
it's going to play quickly. It's going to have some depth. It's a competitive game, but not overly competitive, right? It's just kind of you're doing your own thing. Very, very interesting new dynamic thing, mechanisms that we're exploring though, like that I don't think have really been done before.
This one feels pretty fresh to me.
Yeah. I think people are gonna lose their minds on it actually. I think it's gonna be awesome, but we're ways away from being able to reveal anything on that.
Leslie brought up a good point to help. So we will make that Vindication video link in the comments here. Somebody else would like us to put that link in the Vindication Facebook group too, so it's not quite as hidden, so they can share it with others.
Yeah, we'll have to track it down. I'm not sure which video Mark's referring to.
And then Leslie said, hey, just to help your wife feel more comfortable, let them know that my 10-year-old daughter frequently beats me at Vindication. So that should be helpful.
There it is.
I also want to say that it was your mom that was saying you're always working.
Yes.
Always working. My grandma agrees. She was watching along with us. So
Really?
hi, Grandma. Yes, I do work a lot.
Hi, Grandma.
That's for sure.
Okay, Adam Teese brought up a cool idea. You know how we're always starting with, with a sacred concept, right? So somebody has a sacred concept that they would like us to consider. Imposter syndrome. Getting over imposter syndrome as a sacred concept as the start of another game.
It's interesting.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You do like us a sacred concept.
Mm-hmm. William's sending us a blank check for it, he says.
Excellent.
I like
Just let us know the maximum.
I was
number
going to
we
say
can
that
put
could be really worthless. There's no way.
Tell us how many zeros we can put on that check. That'd be
Yeah.
helpful.
Okay, another request that whatever's next from ONAB, they'd love to have a small box game suitable for travel. Instant buy for them, they said.
That's my kind
It's
of game.
That won't be the next one, but there are.
We promised it, but it's not.
Dreams.
If you travel in a
crushed,
car,
but-
it's gonna be fine.
Yeah.
If you travel in a car. Okay, it looks like we're getting really close to done. We've answered almost every question here, so if there are any questions that perhaps I missed or skipped over, please go ahead and drop those in there again so that we can make sure that we get to them. Let's see. This is interesting. Blake just wants to know, are you guys digging down into the sci-fi genre with games, or do you see yourselves spanning out to other themes with future games?
Yes,
Mm-hmm.
both.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever we do, we want to dig down, right? So, but I do feel that I love sci-fi and I love fantasy, and they're deep, areas that we could explore new ideas. But I also think that it's a little bit limiting to just be in those two
Yeah,
pools.
we'll definitely be going outside that.
There's sky's the limit. We're just gonna take each idea that we have in the team and see if we can breathe life into it.
The next game is about a toothbrush factory.
You have to hunt down all the bristles and
You're
put all the
gonna love
bristles
it.
into one.
You get bristle points.
Bristle points, yes.
Bristle points, yeah.
Terrence wants a Vindication minivan collection to fit the game. John says, digging up isn't an option? Like, why not?
It's a great
Well, yeah,
question.
it depends on where gravity is.
Sci-fi. Yeah.
And how far in the hole I've dug myself.
Just keeps going.
Jolly,
Just keeps digging that black hole.
I just mix up all your little metaphors that you set up and it starts getting real weird.
okay, Derek, this is for you.
Oh, okay.
What musical do you see Vindication the musical being styled like?
Oh man,
Ooh.
Do it.
I would really love to see in a Sondheim, like a Sweeney. So Stephen Sondheim did Sweeney Todd, right?
Okay,
So it's a
okay.
bit of a guy, but he also did West Side Story.
Mm-hmm.
And
Those
he
are
also,
very different.
They are exactly, and so there's a lot of range there. But his the company could be interesting. Nobody knows what I'm talking about, but
The
if you
people
want to look
who
it
do
up,
know.
actually, you know what? That's
You
what I
gotta
wanted.
dig super deep on the musicals.
Yeah.
Oh, Nick Dixon. What about if we do a steampunk noir detective deduction game where the detectives have imposter syndrome?
Take it all and put it in a giant blender.
As long as it's on a train.
Yeah, if it's on a train, I don't care.
Adam's like, I'm in.
Murder on the Orient Express, the game.
Jolly Roger over on YouTube again had another question. It's one that we have talked about already on this stream, but about a bigger box. They want a bigger box to hold all of Vindication. It is not in the plans right now, but we hear a lot of people asking for it, so we will be talking about it internally.
I'm thinking on that. Yeah, it's got to be, if we do anything like that, it's got to be more than just a place to put your stuff. It's got to have some function. It's got to have something that makes your life better. Something that you feel good about. Yeah, I mean, it's got to have some practical stuff, and it's got to also just something that you feel awesome about. So I want to think about that.
Okay, I think we've covered about everything. I feel pretty comfortable. Anything else that we all want to discuss today? Or are you pretty happy calling that a?
Just thank you.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah, thanks.
all the if you're not in our Facebook groups, the Outpost group or the Unsettled group, it is a very active and wonderful community, and we are just, you guys are doing that, and we are honored to be a part of it, quite frankly.
Most
So
definitely.
thank you for everything that you contribute and the vibe that you bring and the things that you value.
Really.
And for those watching on YouTube, that's on Facebook.
It's not
Yeah.
on YouTube,
No.
where nothing good happens.
Okay, thank you all so much for your time with us today. We've got a couple new episodes of the Outpost podcast coming out. If you want to check us out over there, we've got some videos that we've been working on, so those will be over on our YouTube channel. I don't know. This was a really cool couple days.
It has been.
I missed everybody at Gen Con who we normally get to see, but it was really nice.
I missed the face-to-face.
I will say
Definitely.
we have loved this experience, and it has shown us that we can have a really nice engagement with everyone, with even over the internet like this. And we will probably be making more weekends like this that are just Orange Nebula weekend, and who needs Gen Con to do this? And we will be doing this more because this has been wonderful. Thank you for showing up.
Yes, indeed. Thank you.
Really.
All right, we're gonna get weird and have to push buttons here.
Perfectly.
Okay?
Get weird.
From my
Where are
close-up.
you?
All right, we will talk to you later.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Heck, it's big.